Hi everyone, welcome back for another tutorial. In this tutorial I want to show you how I create a time lapse. Very easy, very quick to do it. So as you can see, I started a new year, well, I ended the year and started a new one on a high, and that means on the 9th floor. So I've got some photos I took here. As you can see over here, I've got quite a few, and actually 765. So what I want to do first is I want to process these images. But this one here, it's not exactly the one I want to start with. So I'm just going to start one with some fireworks. And there you go. So the first thing I want to do is I want to set the white balance. And I'm going to auto, probably a bit warmer, something like so. And I want to bring down the highlights because I want to see right here the time. So I'm going to bring down the highlights until I get nice detail over here. And it looks good to me, so that's job done in here. I'm going to open up the shadows a touch, make sure I've got some nice whites. So while moving the slider, I'm going to hold the Alt key option on the Mac until I've got a nice white point and something like this. And I'm going to do exactly the same with the blacks. There you go. I love clarity, so I'm going to add a bit of clarity just to add a bit more punch to the image. So bringing down, and I want to go into lens correction. I want to remove chromatic aberration, enable profile corrections, and I want to go to transform. Right here on the transform, I want to align this image. So I'm just going to click auto and see if it works. Doesn't. So I'm just going to make sure I go something like so, and it looks good to me. Fantastic. So now I just want to add some detail, so just some sharpening, masking holding Alt, and just reduce a bit of the noise. There you go. So I've got this image finished. I'm happy with the result. So what I want to do now is I want to apply all these settings here that I've done in this image into the other ones. So all I have to do is Control A or Command A on the Mac, and I want to make sure I click sync. So I click sync, and I want to check all, because this way it will synchronize all the settings I applied to the just one image. So I'll click synchronize, and Lightroom is doing its job, and job done. All I have to do now is go to File, Export, and export to a specific folder that I may want to, either desktop, pictures, whatever, it's up to you. I've exported already these images, so I'm going to save you some time. So I'm going to cancel that. So I'm going to close Lightroom, and I'm going to open Photoshop. So now back here in Photoshop, and this is super easy. I'm going just to File, and I'm going to Open, and Desktop, and I've got Timelapse right here. And as you can see, I've got all of the images. So all I have to do is click one image, and just right here where it says image sequence, just tick open, and now I've got my frame rate. So obviously this depends on how long you want your time lapse to be and how much you want to focus on each image. I can do 2 frames per second, I can do 15 frames per second, so I'm just going for 2 frames per second just for the sake of it. So I'm just going to click OK, and Photoshop will do its magic, and that's it, job done. So I'm just going to open my timeline, hit spacebar, and as you can see, we have a time lapse. Look at that. Obviously it's 2 frames per second because I want to see every two images within a second, so I can enjoy a lot more the fireworks. But for different things, try different settings. I would normally go for 15 frames per second or 24 frames per second, but in this case it works really well, and as you can see, it's working really well. And it's nearly midnight, as you can see. on the clock. So I'm going back and hide the timeline like so, and all I have to do now is go to File, Export and Render Video, and all I have to do now is just initializing, is tell it where I want the image, the video to go to, and choose format and the size of the file and hit render. That's it. Job done. Obviously it takes a while, but I don't want you to get bored, so I'm going to export it and I'll come back in a second. And it's done. So I'm going to minimize this. I'm going right here to my desktop where I've got my time lapse, and I'm going to just preview it. And as you can see, it's looking cool. I'm going to just fast forward a bit because I started obviously before midnight. And look at that. Very cool. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. See you next time. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.